Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Caleb wakes up to the buzzing of his alarm clock. He groans, rolling over and knocking the device off his bedside table. The clock falls to the floor with a thud, the alarm still blaring. With a sigh, he reaches down and fumbles for the clock, his hand brushing against the cold metal frame. He hits the off button and the room falls silent. Ugh. Another day, he mumbles, sitting up and running a hand through his messy brown hair. He stretches, his thin t-shirt riding up slightly, exposing a sliver of his toned stomach. He swings his legs over the side of the bed and stands up, yawning. After a quick shower and breakfast, Caleb grabs his backpack and heads out the door. He lives with his single mom, who is already at work, so he's learned to be self-sufficient. As he walks to school, he runs a hand through his hair again, checking his appearance. He's tall and lanky, with a slight tan and a scattering of freckles across his nose. His green eyes scan the path ahead as he walks, taking in the familiar sights of his neighborhood. "Hey, Caleb!" a voice calls out. He turns to see his friend, Justin, running towards him. Justin is a tall, muscular guy with curly black hair and an easy smile. They've been friends since middle school. "Hey, man," Caleb replies, giving him a nod. "What's up?" "Nothing much, just heading to school. You?" Same old, Caleb shrugs. Ready for another boring day? They walk side by side, falling into step with each other. "Hey, did you hear about the new teacher? Mr. Carter? Apparently he's a real hard-ass," Justin says. Caleb rolls his eyes. "Great, just what we need. More homework." They arrive at school, a large brick building with tall windows. It's a typical fall day, the air crisp and leaves beginning to turn. As they enter the bustling hallways, the sound of their conversations and laughter mixes with the noise of other students. Caleb and Justin make their way to their lockers, navigating the crowds. The bell rings, signaling the start of the first period. "See you later," Justin says, giving Caleb a quick punch on the arm as they part ways. Caleb spends the morning moving from class to class, taking notes and listening to teachers lecture. It's a mundane routine, one that he's grown accustomed to. He's a decent student, getting mostly B's and the occasional A. During lunch, he sits with a group of friends, a mix of guys and girls. They're a tight-knit group, always goofing around and joking with each other. Caleb is well-liked, known for his dry sense of humor and easygoing personality. "So, Caleb, who are you taking to the homecoming dance?" Sarah, a girl with long blonde hair and a perky smile, asks as she takes a bite of her apple. Caleb shrugs, taking a drink from his soda. "I don't know. Maybe I'll just go with you guys." "Oh, come on, you have to take someone. It's your senior year," she teases. He smiles, a hint of a dimple showing on his cheek. "I'll think about it." The bell rings, signaling the end of lunch. Caleb and his friends pack up their things and head out of the cafeteria, joining the stream of students flowing into the hallways. The rest of the day passes in a blur of classes and homework. As Caleb walks home, his hands shoved into his pockets, he thinks about the upcoming dance. He hasn't really thought about asking anyone, content to go with his friends. That night, he stays up late, playing video games with Justin online. They chat and joke, the hours passing quickly. "Dude, I'm telling you, ask Sarah," Justin says, his voice coming through the headset. "She totally likes you." Caleb shrugs, even though his friend can't see him. "I don't know, man. It's just a dance." "Just do it, dude. You know you want to," Justin insists. Caleb smiles. "Fine, I'll think about it." The next day, Caleb arrives at school, feeling slightly more energized after a good night's sleep. As he walks to his locker, he notices a group of girls giggling and pointing in his direction. He brushes it off, assuming they're talking about someone else. The morning passes uneventfully, and during lunch, Caleb approaches Sarah, who is sitting with a few of her friends. "Hey, Sarah," he says, feeling a slight nervous flutter in his stomach. She looks up, her blue eyes shining. "Hey, Caleb, what's up?" He shifts from one foot to the other, feeling suddenly self-conscious. So, I was wondering if you'd maybe want to go to homecoming with me. Sarah's face lights up and she claps a hand over her mouth. Are you asking me on a date? Caleb feels his face grow warm. I guess so, yeah. She smiles widely, her dimples showing. I'd love to. Relief washes over him and he can't help but return her smile. Cool. It's a date. As he walks away, he feels a sense of satisfaction. Maybe this dance won't be so bad after all. The next few weeks are a blur of homework, football games, and dance preparations. Caleb and Sarah spend more time together, and he enjoys getting to know her better. She's smart and funny, and they have a lot in common. The day of the dance arrives, and Caleb puts on a suit, checking his appearance in the mirror. He combs his hair, trying to get it to lay flat, and gives himself a once-over. There's a knock on his bedroom door, and his mom pokes her head in. You look handsome, sweetie. Are you ready? Almost, he replies, straightening his tie. Be out in a sec. He takes a deep breath, nerves fluttering in his stomach. This was it, his last high school dance. He wanted it to be perfect. Caleb arrives at the school gym, which has been transformed. Streamers hang from the ceiling, and twinkling lights create a magical atmosphere. The room is filled with the sound of music and laughter. He spots Sarah, looking stunning in a blue dress, and his heart skips a beat. As they meet in the middle of the dance floor, Caleb feels all eyes on them. He offers Sarah his arm, and she loops her hand through it, resting her head on his shoulder. You look amazing, he whispers. She smiles up at him. You too. I'm so glad you asked me. They dance, the music and conversation swirling around them. Caleb feels like he's on cloud 9. This is better than he'd imagined. The song ends and they pull apart, laughing. Want to get some punch? Sarah suggests. Sure, he replies, offering his arm again. As they weave through the crowd, Caleb feels a tap on his shoulder. He turns to see the principal, Mr. Johnson, standing behind him, looking stern. Caleb, a word, please, he says, motioning towards the hallway. Frowning, Caleb nods. Be right back, Sarah. Stepping into the hallway, the principal looks him squarely in the eye. This is a serious matter, Caleb. It has come to my attention that there has been a mix-up with the school database. You were accidentally registered as a girl, and we only noticed it recently. Caleb's eyes widen in confusion. What? But I'm afraid we've already made arrangements for you to transfer to an all-girls school for the rest of the year. It's either that or you'll have to redo the entire year. I'm sorry, but those are your only options. Caleb's mind races as he tries to process this bombshell. But sir, I know it's an inconvenience, but it's the best solution. We've already prepared a female uniform and a new set of documents with your new name. From now on, you will be known as Daphne. Daphne, Caleb echoes, his voice laced with disbelief. It's a beautiful name, don't you think? And don't worry, we've taken care of everything. Your new school is expecting you on Monday. Caleb stands there, speechless, as the principal pats him on the shoulder and turns to walk away. Stunned, he watches the man's retreating back, his mind reeling. He wants to call out, to protest, but the words stick in his throat. Dazed, he makes his way back into the gym, his eyes searching for Sarah. He finds her standing by the punch bowl, chatting with her friends. As their eyes meet, she smiles and waves. He forces a smile, his mind racing. How could he possibly explain this to her? To anyone? As the dance continues, Caleb feels like he's in a daze. He goes through the motions, his mind elsewhere. When Sarah asks if he's okay, he just nods, not trusting himself to speak. Finally, the dance ends, and the students begin to file out. Caleb walks Sarah to her car, his heart heavy. I had a great time tonight, she says, smiling up at him. He manages a smile. Me too. Leaning in, she gives him a quick kiss on the cheek. See you Monday? Yeah, he replies, his voice faint. He watches as she gets into her car and drives away, a flood of emotions washing over him. That night, Caleb lies awake, his mind racing. He feels like his world has been turned upside down. How could he face his friends, his family? The idea of starting at a new school as a girl is overwhelming. The weekend passes in a blur, and before he knows it, it's Monday morning. Caleb, now Daphne, puts on the uniform the school provided, a pleated skirt and a white blouse, and stares at his reflection in the mirror. He barely recognizes himself. His brown hair has been cut and styled, falling in soft layers around his face. A hint of makeup accentuates his green eyes, and his lips are stained a soft pink. He looks like a completely different person. Taking a deep breath, he grabs his backpack and heads out the door. His mom gives him an encouraging smile, unaware of the turmoil he's feeling. As he walks into the all-girls school, heads turn. He feels eyes on him, the whispers starting. He keeps his head down, making his way to the principal's office. "Ah, Daphne, welcome," the principal, Miss Franklin, says, offering a warm smile.
"We're so glad to have you. I'm sure this is a big adjustment, but we're here to support you."
Daphne nods, her heart pounding.
"Thanks." The principal continues. "I've arranged for one of our students to show you around and help you settle in.
Her name is Mia, and she's a wonderful young woman. I think you'll get along great." There's a knock on the door, and a girl pokes her head in. "Miss Franklin, you wanted to see me?"
"Ah, Mia, come in. This is Daphne, our new student. I was hoping you could show her around."
Mia steps into the room, her curly red hair bouncing as she walks. She's petite, with bright green eyes and a smattering of freesickles across her nose. She's wearing a uniform skirt, black leggings, and a sweater, along with a pair of colorful, mismatched socks. "Hi, I'm Mia," she says, offering a friendly smile. "It's nice to meet you, Daphne." Daphne feels her nervousness ease slightly. There's something instantly likable about Mia. "Hey, Mia, yeah, I could definitely use some help navigating this place." "Don't worry, we'll have you settled in no time," Mia assures her. "Come on, I'll show you your locker and we can introduce you to some people." As they walk through the hallways, Daphne feels a mix of emotions. The stares and whispers continue, but Mia seems to sense his discomfort and does her best to ignore them. "So, what classes are you taking?" Mia asks, her green eyes curious. Daphne shrugs. "The usual, I guess. English, math, science." "Oh, cool! We have a few classes together then," Mia says. "You'll love Miss Lind, she's an awesome teacher." Daphne manages a smile. "That's good to hear." They stop in front of a locker, and Mia points to the one next to it. "This is yours. I'll help you put your combo in." As they work on the locker, a group of girls approaches, giggling and whispering. "Is that the new girl?" one of them asks, her eyes wide. Mia nods, giving them a bright smile. "Yep, this is Daphne. Daphne, these are my friends, Emma, Lily, and Sophia." The girls smile and wave, their eyes taking in Daphne's appearance. "Hi, Daphne," they chorus. Daphne feels his nervousness returning.
"Hey,"
he mumbles, shoving his hands into his pockets.
"We're so glad you're here."
Emma gushes, her blonde hair falling in loose waves around her face. "We love having new students." Lily, a tall girl with dark skin and braids, nods. "Definitely. It shakes things up a bit." Sophia, who has curly brown hair and big brown eyes, adds, "And we can show you the ropes." It's a lot to take in. Daphne just nods, feeling overwhelmed. Mia seems to sense his discomfort again and jumps in. "Why don't we grab a seat at lunch and properly welcome Daphne?" she suggests. "We can fill her in on all the gossip and show her around some more." The girls agree, and after a few more friendly words, they part ways, waving as they head to class. Daphne breathes a sigh of relief as they walk away. "Thanks for that," he murmurs to Mia. Mia smiles.
"No problem. They mean well, but I know how overwhelming it can be.
It's a lot to take in on your first day." As they continue the school tour, Daphne feels his nerves begin to settle. Mia is easy to talk to, and he finds himself opening up to her about his situation. "So you're basically here because of a clerical error?" Mia clarifies, raising an eyebrow. Daphne nods, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders as he admits the truth. "Pretty much, yeah. It's crazy." "Wow, that's a crazy story," Mia says, shaking her head. I can't believe they made you transfer and change your identity like that. That's wild.
I know, right? Daphne sighs. I'm still trying to process it all. Well, if it helps, I think you make a great girl, Mia teases, elbowing him gently. Daphne can't help but smile, feeling a rush of gratitude for Mia's easy acceptance. Thanks, I think. The bell rings, signaling the start of lunch. Mia leads Daphne to a table where Emma, Lily, and Sophia are already sitting, chatting animatedly. Here she is, our new friend, Mia announces, pulling out a chair for Daphne. The girls smile and wave, making room for her at the table. Daphne feels a rush of warmth at their welcoming attitude. So, Daphne, tell us about yourself, Emma says, leaning forward, her blue eyes sparkling with curiosity. What are your hobbies? Favorite subjects? Pet peeves? Daphne laughs, feeling herself relax. Oh boy, well, I like reading, playing video games. Video games? Yes, Lily exclaims, pumping her fist in the air. What systems do you have? And so the conversation flows, and Daphne finds himself settling into this new school, this new identity, with surprising ease. It's a strange turn of events, but with Mia and her friends by her side, he thinks he might just make it through the year. As the weeks pass, Daphne falls into a routine at the new school. It's an adjustment, getting used to being treated and perceived as a girl, but the all-girls environment is surprisingly welcoming and supportive. He joins the school's gaming club, where he's quickly accepted and becomes an integral part of their strategy for an upcoming tournament. One day, as Daphne is walking to class, Mia falls into step beside him, a serious expression on her face. Hey, so I've been meaning to ask, she begins, her green eyes focused on him. Are you, like, a boy dressed as a girl, or… Daphne freezes, his heart pounding. He takes a moment to gather his thoughts, unsure how much to reveal. It's complicated, he finally says. Mia nods, her expression understanding. Right, of course. No pressure to explain. I just wanted you to know that whatever the situation is, I'm cool with it. You're my friend, and that's all that matters. Daphne feels a rush of gratitude and relief. Thanks, Mia. That means a lot. A smile spreads across Mia's face, and she links her arm through Daphne's. Now, let's get to class before Miss Lynn marks us tardy. As the days turn to weeks and then months, Daphne finds himself settling into a routine at the all-girls school. He joins the debate team, and his insightful arguments help them win several matches. He even starts a study group for an upcoming exam, and his classmates are grateful for his clear explanations of complex concepts. All the while, he keeps in touch with Sarah, messaging and calling her often. One Friday afternoon, as Daphne packs up his bag to head home, Mia approaches, her face lit up with excitement. Hey, Daphne, any big plans for the weekend? Not really, he replies, zipping up his backpack. Why? What's up? Mia bites her lip, her eyes shining with mischief. Well, it's just that we're having a slumber party tonight, and I was wondering if you wanted to come. Daphne feels his heart skip a beat. A slumber party? He pictures the typical sleepover, pillow fights, truth or dare, and lots of girly bonding. Yeah, Mia enthuses. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have snacks, watch movies, do face masks. It'll be a blast. Please say you'll come. He can't help but smile at her enthusiasm. Sounds fun. Count me in. Yes. Mia punches the air in delight. We're meeting at Lily's place at 7. See you there. Daphne spends the afternoon preparing for the slumber party. He showers, washes his hair, and even paints his nails, choosing a light pink shade that matches the dress he plans to wear. He picks out a pair of comfy pajamas, packs his toothbrush and a change of clothes for tomorrow, and selects a couple of movies to bring along. As he walks to Lily's house, the crisp evening air ruffling his hair, he feels a sense of nervous excitement. This is his first slumber party, and he wants to make a good impression. Lily answers the door, her dark hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail, a string of fairy lights already glowing behind her. Daphne, so glad you could make it. Thanks for inviting me, he replies, stepping into the cozy entrance hall. The scents of popcorn and chocolate waft towards him, making his stomach rumble. Come on in! Everyone's here already, Lily says, leading him into the living room. The room is decorated with blankets and pillows, creating a cozy fort in the center. Emma, Sophia, and Mia are already seated on the floor, surrounded by bowls of snacks and bottles of nail polish. Hey, Daphne, they chorus, waving him over. He feels a rush of warmth at their friendly welcome. Hey, guys. We were just about to start a movie, Mia says, patting the floor beside her. Take a seat. Daphne settles in beside Mia, a bowl of popcorn on his lap. The movie begins, and as they chat and laugh, he realizes that he's never felt more accepted and comfortable with a group of friends. The night is filled with gossip, scary stories, and more snacks than he can count. Later, as the clock strikes midnight, they play a lively game of truth or dare. Daphne chooses truth, his heart pounding as he expects some revealing questions about his identity. But the questions are lighthearted. His celebrity crush, his most embarrassing moment, and he answers them with a laugh, feeling truly included. As the night winds down, they snuggle into their sleeping bags, the lights dimmed, and the soft glow of the fairy lights creating a magical atmosphere. Daphne feels content and happy, surrounded by the gentle sounds of his friends' breathing and the occasional murmur as they drift off to sleep. The next morning, they wake to the smell of pancakes. They gather around the table, yawning and rubbing their eyes, as Lily's mom serves up a stack of fluffy pancakes with maple syrup and fresh fruit. This is so good, Mrs. Anderson, Daphne says, his mouth full. Please, call me Rachel, dear, she says with a warm smile. And I'm so glad you girls are enjoying them. They chat and laugh as they eat, recounting funny moments from the night before. Remember when Emma tried to tell that scary story and ended up laughing halfway through? Mia teases, poking Emma with her fork. Emma pretends to look offended, but a smile plays at the corners of her mouth. Hey, it was scarier in my head. Everything's scarier in your head, Em, Sophia teases. The table erupts in laughter, and Daphne feels a warm glow in his heart. These girls have welcomed him, accepted him, and made him feel like he truly belongs. For the first time since the mix-up, he feels like things might just turn out all right. A few weeks later, Daphne finds himself standing in front of the mirror, tugging at the collar of his dress shirt. His hair, now grown out a little, frames his face, and he looks different. Not quite like the other girls, but not like his old self either. There's a knock on his bedroom door, and his mom pokes her head in. You okay in there, sweetie? Yeah, Mom, he replies, smoothing down his skirt. Just need to finish my hair. Well, don't be too long. We need to leave soon for grandparents' anniversary dinner. Okay, be right out. He takes a deep breath, steeling himself. Tonight was a big step, the first time his family would see him dressed like this. He wasn't sure how they'd react, and his nerves were on edge. Caleb's grandparents had always been old-fashioned, and he worried they might not understand. But his mom had insisted that it was time for the family to see him as he is now, Daphne. When he finally emerges from his room, his parents are waiting in the hall, their faces a mix of curiosity and concern. There you are, his dad says, his voice gentle. You look nice. Daphne offers a small smile, his heart hammering in his chest. Thanks, Dad. His mom steps forward, her eyes shining with unshed tears. Oh, honey, you look beautiful. Daphne feels a rush of relief, and he hugs her tightly. Thanks, Mom. Now let's go celebrate Grandma and Grandpa's anniversary, shall we? His dad says, offering his arm. Nodding, Daphne takes his dad's arm, resting his hand lightly on his elbow. Together, they head out to the car, his mom giving him an encouraging smile. The drive to the restaurant is filled with quiet conversation, his parents asking about school and his friends, clearly nervous about the impending family gathering. When they arrive, his grandparents are already there, seated at a large table by the window. The restaurant is bustling, the warm glow of candlelight reflecting off the white tablecloths and crystal glasses. As they approach the table, his grandparents stand, their faces expectant. "Happy anniversary, Grandma and Grandpa," he says, hugging them both. "Thank you, dear," his grandmother replies, her eyes sparkling with happiness. "And who is this young lady?" Daphne feels his parents tense beside him. This was it, the moment of truth. Clearing his throat, he straightens his shoulders. "It's me, Grandma. Caleb." His grandmother's eyes widen, and she looks from him to his parents, confusion creasing her brow. "Caleb, but it's a long story, Mom," his mom says, putting an arm around Daphne's shoulders. "We'll explain everything later." His grandfather, a tall, silver-haired man, steps forward, his eyes twinkling with amusement. "Well, you certainly look different, young man. Or should I say, young lady?" Daphne forces a smile, his heart pounding. "It's complicated, Grandpa." The waiter interrupts, saving them from further explanation, and they settle into their seats, ordering drinks and perusing the menus. Daphne feels all eyes on him as he studies the menu, his face growing warm under their scrutiny. He keeps his eyes on the menu, unsure of what to say or how to act. His grandmother breaks the silence. "Well, whatever the story is, dear, you look simply lovely, and we're delighted to have you here." Daphne looks up, meeting her gaze, and smiles. "Thank you, Grandma." The meal passes in a blur of conversation, with his grandparents asking about school and his activities, clearly trying to piece together the puzzle of his transformation. But they are kind and accepting, and their love for him shines through. As dessert arrives, a decadent chocolate cake with sparklers, his grandmother raises her glass of champagne. "To family," she says, her voice steady, "in all its wonderful forms." Daphne's eyes prick with unexpected tears as he clinks his glass with the others, feeling truly seen and loved for perhaps the first time since this strange journey began. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.